Hi, welcome back to Milmo Wood from the beautiful North Wales. Today we're going to make a fabulous book caddy where you can bookmark your pages while you're reading. There's room for a nice cup of tea, put your glasses in, hold a pen. You can also put your Kindle or your iPad on it. Absolutely fabulous. I'm making it as a 60th birthday gift, so I'm going to engrave mine with a laser, put some really personal touches to it. You don't have to. I'm also going to router out a recess for the coaster. Again, you don't have to do that. You could just stick the coaster on the top. Fabulous gift, great idea. Hope you enjoy the video. In this video, there's a Milmo Wood top tip for you as well. Well worth watching out for partway through the video. Stick with it till the end, guys. There's a nice little montage at the end of the gift. Well worth looking at. Well, I've not used my bandsaw for some time, so I'm going to check it just before we cut the wood. Always best to make sure your table's at a right angle with the blade before you start cutting. It'll be a nightmare afterwards if you don't. So I've got a small right angle check. Oh, I'm going to take the plastic plate out. I've just used the cast iron bed to check. Whoa, I'm ecstatic with that. Let's get cutting. I've now got the primary pieces. I've created the base and the two sides for the triangle. Just need to cut the angle for the triangle, stick them to the base, and then on the base I think I'm going to recess a coaster in there and personalise that on the laser. So the sides are of equal length, so it's an equilateral triangle, therefore it's a 60-degree angle. So for us we need to make this a 30-degree cut. So I'll just adjust the table saw blade. And it's 30 degrees because we'll cut 30 degrees off, which will leave 60 degrees in place. I've just changed my guide over because with the lower guide, because of the angle, it wouldn't rest properly. So now I can do that, and this will rest against this upright and complete the same cut. Now what I hadn't allowed for when cutting the second piece is the thickness of the first piece. It doesn't actually sit right, whereas it should be slightly shorter. I put the piece of wood the same thickness against my guide. I push the second piece of the upright of the triangle against it. If I remove that first piece now and close the gap, we know that's the thickness of the wood. And I'll go ahead and cut the second triangle again. This is the short piece now. We put that on the base and offer up the longer section. We've now got a perfect triangle to go on the base. Having laser etched both sides, what I'm going to do now is just put a quick coat of lacquer on, just protect the pictures on these. In the base I want to add a coaster. I've got a 100mm coaster that I need to put in, and I want to centralise it in the area that's outside of where the book will sit, so these sides. So I brought one of the sides up level, I'm just going to put a pencil mark, a very light pencil mark, across there now. Now I can barely see that, so I doubt very much you're going to see that on camera. And then I can use that to centralise the coaster within this area. I'm now going to put the coaster to the top, and then I can measure the gap here, which is 2.5 centimeters, or about 1 inch. So I know that I need to halve that space, so that's going to be 1.2 centimeters, or just about half an inch. So I do that there now. I can bring that down. Just double check by measuring the other side. Oh, that's slightly off. That's just about right there. And then I need to measure it from the sides. So that's just over 1 centimeter. Actually, that's spot on in the center now. And then I'm just going to draw a pencil line around the coaster. Now I want to be able to see this pencil line because I'm going to use a router to reset the coaster, recess the coaster. There you go, that's the area that I need to route it out. Okay, let's try the coaster in the recess that I've done. Oh, lovely fit. Absolutely perfect. Really pleased with that. I'm going to personalise the coaster as well, so I'll go off to my laser now and personalise the coaster, and then we'll be ready to start gluing things together. I'm really pleased with the routering of the coaster recess. I've also put a little soft edge around the exposed area, so the uprights will be here. Where the uprights finish, I've rounded over the edge there with the router. Now, I used a handheld router, palm, not really a palm router I suppose, but a handheld router. I'm not sharing the detail of how I did the recess in this video. It's relatively simple. But if you look at my previous video where I've created a coaster trade gift for a good friend of mine, I go into more details about routering the recess in there. You might even want to have a look at that video anyway. It's a really good gift that I've made for him and very personalised. If you're liking this video too, why not consider subscribing, hitting the like button, or even sharing with other friends and family. Really help this channel. I'm only a small channel here in North Wales, and really, although I've got quite a few videos, I'm only just starting out really, and it'd be a fantastic help for me. Thanks for following. We'll carry on now and finish off this beautiful book holder. I've laser etched the coaster now. I'm really pleased with that, and a quick trial fit. Looking good. So if you imagine the inside of the triangle now is not going to be able to be have finish put on it when it's glued together, or it'd be difficult. So what I'm actually going to do is put some finish on now. I've drawn a line, the thickness of the wood. Just going to stick some masking tape across that, and this will protect that area so that when we glue it'll have proper adhesion. So just a bit of masking tape over that, and then I'm going to put some finish on the inside. The smaller piece, the second piece that joins on, doesn't have an area to glue, so that's fine. I can coat all that. What I may do is put some tape on this edge, which is, if you imagine, that is being glued down onto the tray. So with the lacquer, I'm going to spray one way and then the opposite way, and you start spraying before the piece and don't stop spraying until you've gone past the piece. I'm going to start assembly now. So we got the bookrest, which we're going to assemble onto the base. I'm not going to secure it to the base yet. What I want to do is assemble the bookrest together. Now this is going to be a bit awkward, so what I plan to do is to use wood glue across the bit that we left open with no lacquer on, and the opposite side, and I'm going to introduce some CA glue to hold it into place while the wood glue dries, and we can get the CA glue to cure very quickly and use that as a clamp. So if I just apply some wood glue, and then if I spray accelerator on the part that's going to join on, and then I'm going to use the base as a guide. All being well, there you can see the joint, a little bit of squeeze out, nicely joined. I'll leave that there to dry. I've secured the book holder on place. I've now secured it to the base as well, and I've put masking tape on it to hold it in place. I think if I was to do this again, I'd probably use brad nails, but I was trying to avoid brad nails if I could. Let's see how it turns out. We need to put the coaster in place now, the cork coaster. I'm using CA glue for that. Let's apply the glue. I've got quite a thin CA glue. Now I'm quite keen to make sure the CA glue is around the edges so that the coaster itself doesn't lift. And then in the middle, I'll just put a few wiggles of CA glue. Wipe the nozzle. Carefully align it and make sure it's straight. The CA glue won't set immediately, so we've got a little bit of time. Coaster's a lovely tight fit. Just tease that in there. Then I'm going to use some accelerator as well, just around the edge of that coaster. And I'll wait for the wood glue to dry. I've had a few minor gaps that I've filled using the wood glue and sawdust trick. So the sawdust from sanding it smooth, I've mixed with wood glue and filled gaps there that were present. I'm just going to do final sanding now, and then we can put some lacquer on it. Remember the offcut that we had when we had to shorten one side of the triangle? Well, I think I know what to do with this. I'm going to use this as a pen holder just on the side of the triangle there. I think that'll make it slightly unique and would be a great use of the scrap wood. I've stuck the pen holder on now, and I'm using masking tape as the clamp. I just turn that to the side. You probably get a better view on the side. I'll leave that to dry now, and then I'll come back and put the final finish on. Well, I'm really pleased so far. And I've added the pen holder here now. So if I take a pencil, for example, and just sit it in the tray, so throwing that waste piece of material away. Great idea, really. I think I'll do that, and I'll make these as a standard. What could you do to yours to make yours stand out from the crowd? I love that. So I'm really pleased with the pen holder. Good use of scrap material. That's where the pencil or pen will sit. Then in the triangle you can put your glasses. Just need to put the finishing lacquer on it now. It's time for
a Milmo Wood top tip.
when I'm painting or spraying, I've got these old scraps of plywood that I use, and I've put some screws through. I've got different sizes, so that's rather a large one. I've got one with 4 in, just offcuts. And I find these so cheap to make, and the better than the triangular points for painting on that you can buy. So I've sprayed the base. Now that needs to dry. If I just sit that gently on those screws, I can spray the top now as well. Save a lot of time, and then just leave it all to dry. With it being the base, there's only the tiny little marks from the end of the screw that you may possibly see, but it doesn't really matter because it's on the base. And with these screws being quite high and on a piece of wood, to turn it, I can just move the screws and then spray. Top money saving tip. I'm really pleased with how this piece has turned out. I think the laser etching has worked really well, and the colour's absolutely beautiful. Good quote, and it's very useful, and the pen holders worked exceptionally well. And then we've got the place for the cup, and then we just place the book on the top of the piece, and it just used as a bookmark. Absolutely perfect. And then if we're modern, we take all that off, we can remove the book and the pen, and it becomes a tablet or Kindle holder. So whether you're modern or whether you're traditional using paperback books, hardback books, you can be electronic and use your Kindle or your iPad. Absolutely brilliant.